Hey there, this is Akshay Madan. Welcome back to a new video. And as I promised that I'm going to bring some AI plus Flutter tutorials. Here are they. And in this video, we are going to build a Midjourney plus Flutter application where we are going to write a prompt in our Flutter application. That prompt is going to go to Midjourney, which is an online AI image generation tool. Like you know about ChatGPT and OpenAI, right? They work with so many AI models and all, right? And they give you some predictions, they give you some generations. Midjourney is also the same company, and they mostly work with images. Like you give a prompt and they are going to give you an image, or you give an image and they are going to enhance it or do whatever you want it to do, right? So we are going to work with Midjourney, and I'm on this website. I'm going to link this. I'm going to give you the link of this website in the description. This is basically the Imagine website. Imagine is basically a product of Midjourney, and Imagine API is there through which you can which you can integrate in your client application, maybe a Flutter application or React application, and you can give the prompt in your mobile application and it is going to give you the image back, right? So this application we are going to build today, and we are all set, right? I have built one simple Flutter like boilerplate application, right? Where you can see the counter app is there. I can click on this counter app and it is going to work. Also in this video, I'm going to work with Bloc state management. If you are unaware about Bloc, or if you want to learn Flutter from me, or if you want to learn Bloc from me, you can check out my Flutter in Hindi course. The link is in the description. You can check it out, right? And soon I'm going to bring one Flutter full stack mobile application code where I'll be building the backend in TypeScript, Node.js, Express.js, and our mobile application will be in Flutter. So stay tuned. Right, so without wasting more time, let's get started. So as you all know that first of all, I'm going to create the project structure, but first of all, before that also, I'm going to remove this all the code that we have got, right? I like to code from the scratch. So all right, so our code is now, the file is empty, and I can start with importing my material.dart file, material.dart file. Then I'm going to write void main, and it is going to say run app, new my app. Then we are going to create a my app, which will be a stateless widget. So this all you already know. I'm not going to explain this, right? So my app is there, and let's remove this P and P. Yes, my app is there and this is working. So this is going to be a constant my app. So constant, let's write it. Let's also respect the lints here, right? And now I'm going to return a material app. And yes, we are going to build the application in dark theme, because as soon as the AI comes, I don't know, like automatically the dark theme starts coming in our minds, right? So I'm going to build this application in dark theme, right? So first of all, in the material app, we are going to define our home. And now to define our home, we have to create our project structure. So in the lib, I'm going to create one folder called features or feature. And in this feature, I'm going to create one prompt feature. And in this prompt, we are going to have some files. Let's say, first of all, yes, I'm going to have a block folder. So first of all, we also need to go to pubspec.yaml, and in the dependencies, we have to add block and Flutter block. So just write block and just write Flutter block. Okay. So this is good. We have defined block and Flutter block. Now let's get back to main. And in this prompt, I'm going to create one UI folder. Not like this. Just a second. Yes, I'm going to click on I'm going to right click and going to say new folder. Call this folder as the UI folder. So let's call this folder as the UI folder. And in this prompt itself, we have to build a block folder, right? So yes, so there is one issue. It says Flutter block and okay, so I entered the wrong package. It should be Flutter underscore block. Let's wait, and exit code should be 0. Then that means all the dependencies are imported successfully, right? Till then we can see our project structure. So we have this UI, and in this UI I'm going to create one file called prompt or create prompt screen. Also, don't worry about the code link is in the description, right? So here is the, and yeah, so exit code 0, that means our block is imported. And now what I can do is I can in this create prompt screen dart, I can create a stateful widget and say create prompt screen, and basically this screen itself is going to be my home, because as soon as I'm going to open the app, I don't want a login screen or sign up page that you guys can create. I directly want to see a page where the users can enter the prompt. So in the home, I'm going to call this screen, right? And basically this is okay. I'm going to import this screen. Okay, perfect. Now our material app is there. Let's reduce the size of the emulator because currently we don't need it, right? And in this create prompt screen, we are going to create a scaffold which is going to have an app bar, right? Let's just save it. In the main, I'm going to define the theme. So the theme is going to be theme data. Brightness will be brightness.dark, and plus we are going to define our scaffold background color as colors.gray.shade 900. And okay, I guess this is okay. Let's see. So we have our app here, and I can see my app bar, and I can see my scaffold background color as the gray 900 shade color. I can go here in the app bar. I can define my title as title, let's say a text widget, and it should say enter your or generate images, and I'm going to put one emoji here. Let's say this rocket to the moon emoji, and I can see my app generate images, and this is looking good. Now what I want to do it, I have to do is I have to define my body. So come out of the app bar, define the body, and in this body I'm going to define a container, and this container is going to have a child, which will be a column, and is going to be a children. Then what I have to do is most of the part will be taken up by the image that is going to get generated, and below part I'm going to have a text field where the users can enter the prompt. So expanded child container. Let's for now color it with colors.deep purple for now, and after the expanded I'm going to have a container which will be the container for my text field. So container child, it will be a column, children, text will say enter your prompt, save it, and you can see enter your prompt is here, but it is taking like very less space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define the height of this container as 240, plus I'm going to give this container as padding from all. So constant edge insets.all as 24. Let's save it, and I can see my image will be rendered here. Enter your prompt, and now this column should have a cross axis alignment as start. Okay, and let's reduce the size. Okay, and this column should also have a cross axis alignment as start. Save it. Perfect. Now I want a text field, right? So I'm going to give some constant sized box, height of let's say 20, and this will be constant text field, right? And this we have to define one text editing controller. Controller is equal to text editing controller, and you have to give this text field that controller. And now I'm going to decorate this text field. So decoration, input decoration, border, outline input border radius, border radius dot circle 12. This is okay. Okay, so this is okay. Now this border for focus border and all, I have to decorate this. So focused border, I'll copy the same outline input border, and here I'm going to define the color of this border. Border side will be here, and we have to define the color. So color will be app colors dot sorry, not app colors, colors dot deep purple. Okay, deep purple, and the cursor color also. So cursor color, deep purple. Plus I'm going to have one button below my text field. So again, I'm going to copy the sized box, and below the text field I'm going to define my size box, and below that I'll have a elevated button. On press elevated button dot icon, because I have to create one icon also. So elevated button dot icon, on press we are going to see it later. Icon I'm going to define, so icon will be icons dot magic something. Is it yeah, icon in Flutter or in material? I don't think so. So for this we have to go to, or for now what we can do is, for now for now we have to, let's say AI or something, generate or something, generating tokens. I think this will be okay. Yeah, this is okay for now, right? And the label I have to define, label will be generate. It will take a text and it will say generate. Yes, I'm going to decorate this elevated button also, so I have to give a style, button style. You have to define a background color, so material state property dot all. Color will be again colors dot deep purple. And I'm going to wrap this elevated button in a sized box, which will have a height and width. Height of 48 and width of double dot max finite. Okay, this is fine. This is looking okayish, right? Not very good, not very bad, right? Okay. One thing I am not liking is the the color of my app bar. So I'm going to go in my material in my main app, main dot dart, and in the theme data, I'm going to define some color for, or theme for my app bar. So app bar theme, and I'm going to have a background color of colors dot deep purple. Sorry, not deep purple. Sorry, colors dot gray dot shade 900. And I'm going to remove the elevation of my app bar. Okay, this is okay now, right? And now what I have to do is, in my create prompt screen, I will increase the font size of my text, enter your prompt, so that it looks a bit good. Style, text style, font size will be 24. Font weight will be font weight dot bold. Enter prompt. Okay. Now fonts and everything I'm keeping that for you. You can do, or you can take it as a homework, that you have to change the font, you have to decorate it, you have to make this UI look better. This is all your task. You can do it. Now I think we can go ahead and start working on the backend side of it, like creating the logic, business logic, then creating the repositories and all, right? So let's start with that. So I have to go here, and in my feature prompt, I cannot see my block. So what's going wrong here? So to handle that, I'm going to hit Command Shift P and say new block, and I'm going to call it as prompt block. So prompt, I'm going to give it the name, and it should be created in it should be feature prompt, and it should be in prompt folder. So let's select this folder, and you can see that in the feature, in the prompt feature, I'm having my block over here, right? These are the 3 files that I wanted to create. So in the event, first event will definitely be whenever I click on this generate, I have to create an event for that. So class prompt entered event extends prompt event, and I will take a string that will basically be my prompt. So final string prompt. Let's create a constructor. Let's generate a constructor, and let's take this event, go to block and create a handler for this event. So on, I'm going to define the event, then I'm going to define the method. So it will be the same name. So copy this and paste it here. Again, if you want to learn Bloc from me from scratch, there are a lot of videos, free videos of me on my YouTube channel. Also, you can enroll into my paid course, which is in Hindi language, and the link is in the description. So let's say create a method, and here you can see the method is created for prompt entered event. And now here I can write whatever I want to write, right? So first of all, as soon as I'm going to click on generate, one state should be emitted for loading, and one can be success state, one can be an error state. So final class prompt creating image or prompt generating image, generating image load state extends a prompt state, and another will be a success state and an error state. So load will say error, and here it will be success. Perfect. So we have defined the states. Now what I'll do is I have to define the repository function. So here in the feature prompt, I'm going to create one folder called repos, and this is going to have my prompt repository dot class prompt repository. This is going to be a network function which is going to go and make the API call, right? So we have to make an API call to Midjourney, send it the prompt and get back the image, right? So here I'm going to create a static function, and this is going to be generate image function, which is going to take my prompt, so string prompt, and it is going to be an async function. Now we don't know what to do, right? So to know what to do, you have to go to your Midjourney website, sign in, create an account, create an API account, create an API key basically. So that's a little bit process, and it is a very simple process. You have to go on this website, sign in, say create my API key, enter your information, your email and all, and then your API key will be ready. So similarly, I have also kept my API key ready. Then you have to go on this playground, and here you can see you get only 2 options, Python and JavaScript, right? You do not get any Flutter or Dart option. So Flutter code, Dart code, I'm going to teach you how to write it, but you are going to get the payload, the request body, and you're going to see the authentication and everything, right? So don't worry if you don't know anything about this, like how to take example of like how to treat this as an example and then code it Dart. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you everything. But see that they have provided a playground where you can play, but make sure that your credits don't get over, because again you have to create a new account and get your 50 credits. So you get 50 credits. 15 credits I've already used to test it, and now I'm ready with 35 credits to teach you guys, right? So here you can see, here you can change some values, like you want the image in 3:2 ratio or 4:3 ratio aspect ratio, you can change it. Then you have this CFG, like the more CFG will be there, the more related it will be to your prompt. Whatever prompt you have added, it will be more related to that, right? Then you have the seed, that means how many variations you want and all. So these all parameters you can play and get your result over here. So this was my prompt, magical Disney inspired castle, and I got this image, right? Now we want this image in our Flutter application. So this is my API key, which is not visible to you. I have named this API key as teach. So you can also name your API key as anything, right? So, okay, let's get started. So first of all, I can see that I have to define my headers, and this is going to be my payload. So I'm going to copy this whole code, I'm going to copy this, right? I'm going to copy this whole code and go back to my Flutter, and over here I'm going to paste it. Okay, I've pasted this. Let's reduce the size of this emulator for now, and let's close this project folder. Okay, Okay. So remove this, right? And this URL we want, so right, so this URL we want, so I'm going to define the string URL, and I'm going to define this as my URL. Remove this URL now, right? Headers we want, so I'm going to define this headers as map of string comma dynamic headers, or even if we don't write it, it is going to work, right? So headers we have defined, and okay, headers we have defined. Now let's remove this. Now your body, so this is your body, so I'm going to copy, I'm going to command X, then I'm going to define it again as a map of string comma dynamic, and this will be your payload. So this is my payload, and prompt is, so this is again should be key value pair, so I'm going to remove this and write it like Dart, not as Python. So remove this, then you have to remove this and this, then this. So more CFG if you keep, then it will charge you more credits. So I will suggest you that you keep the CFG low for some time. Then if you are sure about your prompt, then increase the CFG value. So this is my payload. Right? Now you can see this request which is going through, right? So I will remove this. I have to write again this response. So what I'll do is I have to import my DO package. If I go in my project, I'll go to pubspec.yml, and then I'm going to define DO and save this. Let's wait. Come on. It's downloading the package. Till then we can go in my prompt repository, and now we need the DO. We are going to write a DO request, which is going to go to a Midjourney and give a response back. Okay, so fine. Now I'm going to create an instance of my DO. So over here, I will be creating a DO. Okay, it's not yet imported. Exit code is 0, so this is good. So DO, yes, it's there. DO is equal to DO. You can use an HTTP package also, but I really love working with DO. So DO is DO. Then I'm going to write DO dot options is equal to options, and this is going to, okay, what is the error? What it wants cannot be assigned to base options. Okay, let's give it base options, and I will be saying it headers. Now define your headers as headers. Then you have to define, so what is how is it writing in the request? Request is headers and files is your payload. Okay, files is your payload, right? So what I can do is over here, this generate image, I can define it as future, and it should return a file which can be nullable, because if something went wrong, then I have to return null, right? So this is my payload. You can see the prompt, and this is going to accept the prompt from the user. So I'm going to write it as prompt style ID. So this style ID is basically this one, in what format, like you want this image to be looking like a realistic, portrait, anime, or Disney like, or something. You can choose this, and you can see which one suits you or suits your needs. Then you can define the related style ID, or you can also accept this style ID from your user in a drop down or something. Aspect ratio also you can accept from the user, but currently I'm hardcoding it. CFG I'm going to keep it as 1 for now. Seed also I'm going to keep it 1 for now, and high resolution results also is 1 for now. This is my payload. Okay, now let's remove this, whatever this is. Okay, so from where this has come, I think I copied it twice. So yeah, this is wrong and this is right. So this is my payload, this is my DO instance, and I'm ready to make a call, right? So we have defined the options also, we have defined the headers also, and we have also defined the payload also. Okay, so now I'm going to write final response is equal to DO dot, it's a post request. You can see that this is a post request. I think my photo is hiding this thing, so I can keep my photo here, and you can see it's a post request. Okay, so it's a post request. Now let's get back to our code, and you can see I'm also making a post request. So do dot post. I have to define the path, which is my URL. Then I have to define my options, which are the options. uh, do.option. Okay, do is already taken that, so no need to define the options explicitly. Then I have to define the data. So data is going to be this payload, and we are ready to make this call. Now we have to see what this response returns, right? So basically this response should return a file data basically, and that file data will be in bytes format, right? So now we have to code, or we have to write that bytes data into a file, and then we have to return that file basically. And this thing we are forgetting that this is going to be an async await function. So async we have defined, but we forgot to write await here. So this will be await. And now we can remove all of this Python related code that we brought from Midjourney, right? Now, if my response is successful, so if my response dot status code is equal to 200, then I can say I have to define one file. So var file is equal to file. I'm going to call it image.jpg, and this will be inside a string, right? Then I'll say file dot write as byte sync, and then the bytes, which will be response dot data, right? And then correct, this is right. And what I can do is I can say file, or this can stay as var. No, we have defined the return type over here, so it will be file is equal to file image.jpg. Then it will be writing the file, the response data to my file, and this looks good. And what I can do is then I can return this file back, else I can return null. This will be return. Okay, and we are missing one curly bracket. Okay, perfect. So you can see this is the code. Defined the URL, then I have defined the headers. So I have to bring my this thing, my API key, and I'll paste it over here when I'll be running it. Or what we can do is we can define the dot environment file, and then you can also bring your API key here. What I can do is I can write the API key, show it to you, and after that I can delete it. So let's do that. So what I can do is I can go to my, where is my API key? Okay, this is my API key and API reference, or over here also I can go. Now this is a sign out button. I'm new to Midjourney, so I'm also learning it as I'm teaching. So where is my API key? I can go over. Okay, so in the API dashboard, I have got my API key. So I'm going to copy this API key and I'm going to go and paste it right over here. I'll suggest you that you paste this API key in an environment file, and do not push this API key to GitHub and all, right? And also not in your builds. It will be definitely in your builds, but you should keep it in your environment file. So yeah, so this is my API request. I have the payload, I have the DO options, I have the headers, I have defined the body, and I'm writing it in a file. I'm getting the file back. Now let's go back to Bloc, and over here, this will again be a async method. Then first of all, I'm going to emit the loading state. It should be prompt generating image load state. Then I'm going to bring my file from there. So it will be file, nullable file. So file is equal to await prompt repository dot generate image, and prompt will be event dot prompt, right? If file is not equal to null, then I'm going to say emit prompt generating success state, else I'm going to say emit prompt generating error state. In the success state, I have to pass the file. So final file, here it will not be nullable. Final file and generate a constructor. Okay, yes, generate a constructor. Go to Bloc, define the file here, Yes. Okay, we are good to go. And now we can come back to our UI and wrap this whole body with a block consumer, right? So let's wrap it with a block consumer. Now I'm going to close the project structure. In the block consumer, you have to first of all import it. Then over here you have to write prompt block, and here you have to write prompt state. We have to create an instance of our block. So I'm going to say final prompt block is equal to prompt block. Then over here I'm going to define the block. Okay, not like this, or not in the scaffold, in the block consumer. You have to define your block, say prompt block. Okay, now you don't need a listener, you need a builder, right? And first of all, yes, one more thing, I will need a listener, right? And okay, we can also work without a listener, right? Not a problem. And first of all, as soon as I'm going to return, so I'll also keep one file with me, which will be a dummy file, right? So what I'll do is I'll create a assets, and inside this assets I'm going to bring one file, basically an image, JPEG image, right? So I've brought one file, and I'm going to paste it in the assets, and I'm going to rename it as file.png. And now I'll close this. I have to go to my pubspec.yaml and import assets. So I'll go here, say assets, and import everything that's there in my assets. And I have to remove this images, right? Okay, let's wait. And now, first of all, what I'll do is, as soon as I'm going to add my initial event, which will be the first event, as soon as you open the app, this is going to get added in your block. So go to your UI and you have this prompt screen. Go to your block in the event, call I'll say create an event which will say class prompt initial event and add this event when you are creating your screen. So in your init state, after this block initialization, prompt block.add, now we have to define the handler for this in the block. Define the method, and now we have to handle this method. So create a method handler, right? So generate a method, and over here we are going to just emit the success state, prompt generating success state, and I'm going to pass the file as the asset file. Or what we can pass is the asset image. It should be a file image basically, so I'll pass it as a file image. Okay, we cannot pass it, we have to pass a file itself, so I'll pass it as a file from URI from raw path. I'll define it as a path, and the path will be assets slash file.png. Perfect. Okay, this is good, right? This is okay. And now what I can do is I can go over here, and in my UI I can say I don't have any listener state, so I'll keep it empty. And in the builder I'm going to wrap this with some switch cases which are going to handle the success state, loading state, and your error state, right? So I'm going to cut this. I'll take it from here, basically from here itself, and I'm going to go till here, cut it, and say switch case state dot runtime type, and the value you should keep prompt generating image load state, which will return center child circle progress indicator. then you can remove this break, then define case, prompt generating error state. There, here you can define return a center, child text, which will say something went wrong, something went wrong. Then the case of success state will come, prompt generating success state. In this success state, so final success state is equal to state as this, not this, it will be prompt generating success state, and then you can return your whole UI. Perfect. Now instead of this purple expanded thing, I'm going to define a container, and I'm going to define decoration, image decoration, it will be decoration image, decoration image, and this will be box decoration. So box decoration image, decoration image. Then you have to define as your image file or file image. Is it a yes, file image? Then you define your file, which will be coming from your success state dot file. Okay, this looks good. I can save this, and I think we haven't missed anything. I can open my debug console, right? So see if anything is going wrong, and now I can increase the size of this debug console. I think we can refresh, but one thing is missing, that is this default state. So I'm going to return a sized box in this sized box. Okay, now let's refresh. Right, so I'm going to close the app because it has to import assets also, and run and debug. Let's see, let's wait. So my app is open, I can't see the image. The issue can be, I am not sure, but let's see. The issue can be I have not given the width to my container. Okay, I just smashed the camera. So container and width should be double dot max finite. Also in this image, I will be having a box fit. So fit box fit dot cover, not fill. I should have cover. I still can't see my image, so that means the issue is something else. So what I can do is success state.file, this is right. Let me just refresh. So you can see the issue. The issue is it is not able to find this path. So I think I should copy the complete file path. So I can do is assets, I can copy the path, I can go to my block, and I can paste it here. I can paste this. Now I can refresh. Okay, I can see the image. So image is here, right? Image is here, and then image is here. Now I have to enter the prompt, and as soon as I enter the prompt, I click on generate. I should send this to Midjourney, right? So I'll go over here in the create prompt screen, and I'll go down, and over here in the on press, I'll say if controller dot text dot is not empty, prompt block dot add, prompt entered event, and the prompt will be controller dot text. Okay, so I'll save this. Now what I'll do is I'll also add some breakpoints to my repository function so that I can actually see if my API call is successful or not. So I'm going to put it here, then here, then do options, final response, then response state, and then this file. Okay, let's save this, and now I can enter my prompt. So let's say my prompt is generate Disney image of a princess with a prince, prince. I'm going to click on generate, and you can see there the breakpoint has come. Now I'll say continue, right? So I'll say continue, then okay, URL is ready. I'll say continue. Okay, options are ready, headers are ready. Then I'll say continue, then do, then continue, do.options, and you can see over here, I'll close this. You can see over here, payload, all the options are there. Then my headers, all the options are there. Do is ready, right? I'll again say continue. Then we have to, this is the most hard or complex part, that our API call should be successful. We should not get any error. I'll say continue, and it is making the API call. It is generating, and I'll say continue. Okay, it is generating, so we should actually wait, right? And let's see when it comes back. Okay. So before we go, I think I missed a very important part. I forgot to add everything inside try catch block, because if some exception comes, we won't be able to catch it. So try catch block, if a error is there, then I want it to log the error dot to string, and at the top I have my try. Now in this try I can paste everything. I'll save this, I'll open it up, I will refresh the app. My app is ready, and now I'm going to again write the prompt. So generate a Disney image of a princess with a prince. Generate. Okay, I think we got an issue, status code of 400, so it was not successful. Because the response has a status code of 400, request options dot validate status was not configured to throw for this status code. The status for 400 has following meaning: client error, the request contains bad syntax or cannot be fulfilled. Read out. Okay, so I think we are doing something wrong in the request body. So let's see the request body, what we are passing. We are passing the data and payload, correct? Now I see the request body payload, so it is like this. But when I see the JavaScript code, it is actually passing it as a form data, not as a normal request body. So I think we should give that a try. So yeah, so I'll remove this payload. Again, I smashed the camera, so sorry for that. So instead of this payload, we have to define final or form data is equal to form data from map, and here I can define the payload, correct? And now you can see here, let me remove my photo from here. You can see over here that it is defining the body and it is defining the form data, right? So let's get back, and in the body, the data, I should pass it a form data. So I should pass it the form data. Perfect. I think this should be good. I think we are not messing now, but what I can do is I can again I can open DevTools, open DevTools, network page, and now I can make the API call, right? I'll reduce the size of this emulator so that I can see the API calls going. And now what I'll do is I'll refresh this app. Okay, my app is ready. Now I will write the prompt, generate a Disney image of a princess with a prince. Let me also copy this prompt because I have to paste it again, right? And now I can click on generate. So post request has went, and I'll close this and let's see the status. So it has still not given us any error. 200. Okay, perfect. Congratulations, guys. We have got a 200 response, and let's see what we get in this response, right? So now let's close this, and I think it is set 200, but it is still making the generating the image, I would say, because I cannot see any response till now, and I still cannot see any exception. So I think we got one exception. So let's see what is the exception. So the exception is, so guys, this is the exception. List of string is not a subtype of list of int. So I think we are making the we are getting the image perfectly, right? We are getting the image perfectly, but we are making a dumb move when we are creating the file on the Dart side. So what we are doing wrong? Write as bytes sync. So this should be right. I think I should put breakpoints over here. File image.jpg. This is right. This should be right. And over here, file.write as bytes sync. I think what I can do is I can. So the issue is definitely here. So I think here I can improve this. So instead of writing file is image, file.write as bytes, I should first get the bytes from my response. So it should be list of int. Instead of writing it like this, it should be list of int bytes is equal to response dot data dot bytes, and then I should say file is equal to file dot file. First of all, I have to define the path, image dot png or jpg. So jpg, then I'll say file dot write as bytes, and then I'll say bytes, then I'll return it. So now I'll put the breakpoints here, here, and here. And also, as my credits have gone low, so I'll remove the seed, make the seed as 0, cfg as also 0, and this should be good. High resolution results as 1. Yeah, I think this should be good. So now again we have to make the, yeah, something went wrong obviously. And now I can copy my prompt from here. I can refresh this. Okay, I can paste the prompt, allow paste, and I can click on generate. Let's wait till it reaches here. I can reduce the size of the emulator because first of all we have to focus on this response that we are getting. So it is going to take some time, generate some image. Then yeah, so we are here, and let me close this. So bytes, correct, no issue here. So I'm going to click on continue, right? Okay, so I think the issue is here itself, that what are we getting from the response? So you can see the error, class string has no instance getter byte. So I think we're getting it in the form of bytes, sorry, in the form of string. So what we can do is, instead of writing it like this, data.bytes, I can write file dot write as string, and we should be good. Response dot data. I think we should be good. Let's comment this, let's save this, and let's try to refresh this. Let me paste my prompt, click on generate. Okay, we are here, right? We are here, and file is there, file will be created, no issues here. So I'm click on continue. Now response write as string, so hope there should not be any issue. So if I click on continue, and I think we are good. I haven't seen any issue yet, so let's see. It is going to take some time because image is heavy, right? But I cannot see any exception yet, so let's click on continue now. Okay, I can see image. Okay. So now the image is correct. We are doing something wrong, cannot open the file image.jpg, read only file system. Okay. Okay, so I think we should do one trick here. I think instead of returning the file and creating the file and rendering the file, we should directly render the bytes. So let's do that. I think that will be a better approach, and that will be actually a global approach instead of worrying about the file paths, then permissions and all. So let's return list of integers. Integers are basically the bytes that I'm talking about here, and here the response that I'm going to get. So let's remove all of this, and then I'm going to say string bytes is equal to response dot data dot to string. Then I'm going to return bytes dot code units, right? Code units. So this will be a list of integers, and over here in the success state, I'm not going to accept a file. I'm going to accept uint8 list, uint8 list file, or uint8 list, uint8 list. Perfect. And this will be uint8 list, uint8 list. Perfect. And also for the first image that we are passing, I'll say where is the first event handler. It is not in the UI, it's in the block, and over here file dot path is their absolute parent URI, copy read as bytes, copy sync, or we also have the uint8 list dot from file, I guess. So also I can do is, so this is your file, and now just do read as bytes, read as bytes. Okay, so what is it saying? Future of this can't be assigned to parameter of uint8 list. So this should be first of all we have to wait because this can take some time. So I'll remove this and create a uint8 list, uint8 list bytes is equal to await, paste this and make it an async function, and now pass the bytes, over here. Also pass the file. We are not getting a file, we are getting a list of integers. So list of integers, yes, they can be nullable, and it will be bytes is equal to this. And over here I'm going to check if bytes is not equal to null, then pass the bytes itself. And this is taking list of integers, can't be parent. Okay, so uint8 list from list and pass the bytes. So now we are passing the uint8 list to our UI screen. So what we have to do is go to UI, and instead of making a file image, you have to render a memory image. So where is our file image? This is our file image. This will be memory image, and success state dot bytes, uint8 list, sorry, success state dot uint8 list. Okay, so we are good to go, and now I hope we haven't made any silly mistake. This is not a silly mistake, this is a very important way of debugging things, because if I have done it before and if I have given you directly the solution, then you would never see how things should be debugged, right? And how you have to sometimes change the strategy if something is getting too complex. So I'm going to refresh the screen. Also, I'm going to open my debug console. The image is here. I can see the image. So bytes are getting rendered. I can again refresh and show it to you that bytes are getting rendered. The path is not getting rendered. This image is an asset image. This image is getting converted to bytes, and then it is getting rendered as a memory image. Now I am ready to write my prompt, which I'm going to copy from my repository. Here is my prompt. Copy this prompt and paste it over here. Allow paste, generate. Let's see. Bytes.code units. I'm going to continue. Okay, we got some error again. So this is it, guys. Now you can see it is working. So one tweak I had to do, one thing I had to do was, first of all, in my options, in my DO options, you can see here are my options. I have to first of all define that response type is bytes. So this is the first thing. Then second thing what I did is I have changed the return type of from file to uint8 list, and you can see that over here I'm logging the response type, the response runtime type, and the response, and you can see this is the response that is coming. These are the bytes, right? Now using uint8list dot from list function, I'm converting those bytes to uint8list. Now I've got the uint8list. Now you can see the block. In the block, I'm taking the uint8list bytes and I'm returning the bytes itself. You can see the success state is going to take the uint8list bytes. Now go to your UI file in the memory image. Where is my memory image? Yeah, memory image success state.uint8list. So this is going to render the uint8list. Now let's try one more time. Disney image of a princess with a prince and a unicorn and a unicorn and a unicorn. Also, I'm going to increase the values. So I'll go over here and increase the CFG to 5 and C to 1. Let's generate. Okay, so this looks good and this is amazing. So we got the image, that means our image generator is working. Like this, you can increase the frequency, increase the number of results, and you can build your own image generator, right? So I hope you like this video. I hope this was helpful, and do check out the Flutter Hindi course that the link I've mentioned in the description. So till next content, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot, guys.